That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renus Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renus Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself. Reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but... are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renus Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
That'll bring you down. Photons to illuminate the dark! By the power of water! Annihilation! A whirling struggle! Annihilation! Winds of heaven! Burning strike! Lightning condensed! Thunderblast!
Can't get out of this!
Try harder!
First aid! Light astral energy! Illuminate the dark!
Eat this!
Everlasting dark!
Negative gate! Move escape!
A wailing banshee of lightning! Divine savior! Burning thrust! Glacial spear! A whirling struggle! Winds of heaven! Burst forth! Lunar corruption!
Double demon
Clear!
fang!
Grind you into dust! Dance on the wind!
Flaming thrust!
Rending you apart!
Here I come!
Bloody howling! Let me show you what my heart can do!
Eternal devastation! You're mine! Eternal devastation!
Where are you going?
Double demon fang!
Nothing gets by me!
Flame inside me yearns to be let free! You picked the wrong fight! Double demon fang!
Lightning orb!
Double demon fang!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer! Holy land! A chain between heaven and... A wailing banshee of divine savior!
The tempest engulfs you! On your knees!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Lake of fear! Chain between heaven and earth!
Demon fang! Lightning thrust!
Lunar corruption! The waters have created for
Lightning thrust!
Rending you a bloody howling!
blood again!
Rending you apart! Bloody howling!
Keep now! I'll be saving this one! Bronze and red! Radiant pierce!
Dazzle!
Divine grace of
Flaming
fear!
thrust!
Piercing earth!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Pierce!
Being interrupted!
Winds of heaven!
Can't get out of this!
Cyclone! I never miss! Blah blah blah! Air
Dazzle!
Begin! Here, let me help you!
Rending you a bloody howling!
Double demon fang!
Downfall!
Try harder!
Wind after lunar corruption! Illuminate the dark! Set my own holy
Double
land!
demon fang!
Gravitas field!
This one's all mine! You picked the wrong fight!
Freeze
Double
Lancer!
demon fang!
Radiant light! Air
Regeneration!
Photon! Regeneration!
Double demon fang!
I am burning! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Water, hear my call!
Heal my wearied companion!
Spread!
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf? Who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Boran was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Danan are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Are you two okay?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
What, those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renis Alma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renis Alma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
But seriously, I was not expecting Voron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
Let's see what you've got.
Engaging! I can carve through one! Stalagmite! Be still! On your I'm going in!
You can go fast!
I'm ready! Go! In an instant! Impact block! My turn! You're mine! I'm ready!
A whirling struggle! Winds of heaven! First form!
A comfortable win.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among them. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnagain's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes.
We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Looks like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
How long?
thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix, too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renaissance. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What? Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside this.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that? It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrekt-35.
Hevrekt-35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of Red Women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's Great Spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true Sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this Great Spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegis. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrekt-35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renis Alma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrekt-35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renin Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrekt-35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out. Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrekt-35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant—
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Have you guys lived?
Can we talk to you for a few minutes? Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contests began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrekt-35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power, and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as...
Everything we thought we knew. It was all...
Right.
Well...
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home,
but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Xion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's Great Spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevrekt-35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevrekt-35 our answer.
So...
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renus Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Xion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the Thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit. and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the Great Astral Spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die. That we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the Great Astral Spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the Great Astral Spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrekt-35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrekt-35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrekt-35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hevrekt-35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrekt-35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrekt-35? You can see us from where you are?
I can see anywhere within the bounds of Hevrekt-35.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrekt-35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything.
It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy.
Question.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
That'll bring you down!
To be let free!
Anything in armor is all mine!
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Now!
In an instant! Impact! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
We turn the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right. No time to hold back.
Do it!
Hey! Blow them away!
Dance in the wind! Lightning! Still slow!
You're mine!
More for the stockpile!
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I wonder what Helganquil's...
I can imagine that'd be...
There's no...
Little help!
You're mine!
Water!
Not today! Take that! I'm not done! I'll take you all on!
Regeneration!
Double Demon Fang! I owe you one!
I can do this all day!
Double Demon Fang!
In a bind?
Crush!
Only red!
Take this!
It's
go fun! Here I come!
Elusive
Double Demon Fang!
Hitting fire! Here's evil! A ring laser!
Crush!
Rain down!
Elusive Demon Fang! Here I come!
By the power of meteor storm!
Damn it! You back!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
I'm not done!
Searing flame!
Double Demon Fang!
This world!
Ready?
Select laser! Here's evil! Freeze laser!
Take this!
We don't have firearms here on Dana.
I can show you mine if you like.
That would be really awesome, Sion.
Demon Fang!
In here! Now!
Going in an instant! Impact Block!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
You know... I thought there'd be...
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus... there is likely what's you...
What the... Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
Damn it!
Where are you going?
Double Demon Fang!
Getting
more circles?
Keep calm and take them down.
Demon Fang! No escape! You're finished!
In here.
Eternal Devastation!
On your
Crush! Eternal Devastation!
rending you apart!
Take this! Double Demon Fang!
Resonate with the earth!
Lightning Thrust!
Now.
Your blade moves like silk. That is what my instincts take over. How fascinating.
As impressive as always.
Here I will go with
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Xion actually look rested.
Take this! I'm not done!
on your
You're finished! Double Demon Fang!
Between heaven and earth.
rending you apart!
Castle!
A wailing banshee.
I'm not done!
Between heaven and earth. Laser spear. Pierce evil.
Take this!
Freeze laser.
No escape!
Between heaven and earth.
Not much longer to do.
A wailing banshee.
Not a chance! My turn! Air pressure! No escape! Start up! Point blast! Double Demon Fang! I'm not done!
Between heaven and
Double
earth.
Demon Fang!
Wailing banshee.
No escape!
Dragon blade!
Strike!
I'm
ready.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Elfin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Double Demon Fang! Here I come! Be still! Mirage! Mirage! Lightning Thrust! Strike! Void Blast! Strike! Strike!
Can't get out of this! Everlasting dominance!
Strike! We can't lay a finger more! Take this!
Glacial spear.
Double demon!
I'm ready! In an instant!
Impact block!
We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
I never miss.
Double demon fang!
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant!
Impact block!
More?
Mega ray. Raging storm.
Stardust!
Now. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! Now!
Now. Astral energy. Full throttle.
More?
No escape!
Double
demon fang!
Hear my call. Air thrust. Now. Blue world. Demon's descent.
Flashing fang!
More? Here I come! Void flash!
Negative strike!
Take this! No escape! Double demon fang!
I'm ready! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Now! Take this! No escape! Stardust!
Do it.
Blow them away!
That took more energy than I expected.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zeugles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
You sound alarmingly serious when you say that.
Let's see what you've got.
Not today!
Where are you going?
Mirage!
A spot of beef in the end. Throb in pain. I shall ensure you survive this.
I'm ready! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around.
Certainly not.
You're mine!
No further!
Yours to be let free!
Raging storm!
Not today!
The fluidity of your movement is
Devastation! Crush!
prepare to be sealed over weaker points. Actually, that sound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing. A whale
Eternal devastation!
lightning orb!
Take this!
Light astral energy!
You're
Magic is there! Hope this works!
Here I come! Take this!
Elusive deity!
Back into the fray!
Begin!
This one's all mine!
Annihilation!
I am not beyond fury!
Crush!
Radiant orb here!
Double demon fang!
Radiant let the marksman handle this! Mega ray! In here!
Elusive deity!
Eat this!
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
No escape!
Reflecting by the skin.
I'm not done! Mirage! Lightning thrust!
Elusive deity!
Be still!
Burning winds of heaven! First force!
Be still!
Now!
Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Looks like... some solid equipment.
Guess I misread the landing. These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helgankro. Or perhaps the opposite. given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrekt-35 about it sometime. Let's see what you've got.
In a bind?
This one's mine!
Come one, come all!
Here goes!
Rending you apart!
Hope this works!
Bloody howling!
Shion!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
You're mine!
You won't mind if I do! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Now!
Here I come!
Law!
Hey!
Blow them away!
With this, I can become even stronger!
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way! Hey! New equipment!
We haven't...
I want... I won't forgive you!
Take this!
I'll heal you all!
Double Demon Fang!
Careful!
Now we're never.
Healing circle! Careful! It has some kind of
Eat this!
camouflage!
Here I come! Negative shot! Internal devastation!
Freeze laser! Dance in the wind! In here!
It's over!
Being interrupted.
Internal devastation!
Target swirl!
You're mine!
Can't get out of
We're
this.
not done! Double Demon Fang!
It looks like you got this one covered.
You're finished!
Shall not be forgotten. Thanks, Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Internal devastation! Try harder! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Everyone,
Giles,
get back!
I'll leave it
It's
to
too
you.
dangerous!
There's a flame inside me!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Take this.
Perhaps maybe isn't time?
I really don't.
Internal
The fluidity of
devastation!
your movements is simply incredible.
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Light Astral Leonard Raging Cascade!
Internal devastation!
I'll thank you.
That'll bring you down!
Internal devastation!
Crush! No one shall break this night. Let me free you of your power.
Here,
Double Demon Fang!
do it!
Remove!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
Dispose of the trash. Not in your dreams!
Double Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too. Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Double Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Water,
Allow me to help you. I'm in your deck, I'm ready. Then tonight's meal is on you. Keep coming.
I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A comfortable win.
Is it just me, or is anyone else peckish?
Let's see what you've got. Take this!
Lunar Corruption! Lunar Blast! Chain between heaven and earth!
On the wing! Time to cross blade!
One more!
Flaming Thrust! Blackened blade! You're on! Be still! Willing performance! Flaming Thrust!
I nailed it!
Be still! Another incantation ruin! Eternal devastation! Burn!
Here, let me help!
Be still!
First aid!
Now begin!
Raging Storm! It looks like you got this one covered! Lightning Cadet! Thunderblade! Magic Gazelle! Radiant Blast!
No further! Lightning Thrust! Shine! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind it!
Done! I'll leave it to you! I owe you one.
A whirling storm!
Lightning Thrust! Try harder! Bloody nonsense! Flaming Thrust! Be still! Try harder! The flame inside me! You're bloody well free! Strike!
Outstanding form!
Slash! Strike! Mirage! Oh no! Does it hurt?
Holy flip! I'm ready! Chain between heaven and earth!
Crush!
I never fit! Damn lightning!
Benediction! Mirage! Crush! Benediction!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I've been doing really great lately.
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
This... will make us even more formidable.
No choice! Burn in hell!
Lunar Corruption! Lunar Blast!
Do not see the flame! Crush!
I can handle it!
Stalagmite! Rending you up! Eternal devastation! Bloody howling! Crush! Prepare to be seized! Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing!
Regenerate! Eternal devastation! Thanks!
Holy Land!
I'm in your deck, Jeffrey.
Then tonight's meal is on you. Divine!
What to make?
Eternal devastation! I can carve through armor! Elusive being laid inside me! You're let free! Burn! Tornado! Brilliant performance! Now we're not... Eternal devastation!
Illuminate magic Gazelle! Holy Land!
Eternal devastation!
Raging Storm! Celestial Hammer!
Eternal devastation! Crush! Regenerate!
You must be tired of healing me.
I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Glad you're on us.
Eternal devastation! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
It's go time!
The fluidity of the movement is simply incredible.
This one's all mine! Eternal devastation!
Can't get out of this!
Crush! Try harder! My turn!
I don't feel like my usual self. Are you all right? Let me handle this one. So sorry to disappoint you. Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
A hard-won victory.
Ignite! Double Demon Fang!
Carve through armor! Soaring blast!
Voice Blast! Got fire!
I've got this! Let Marksman handle it!
All yours! Try harder!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop you.
I shall ensure you survive this.
Where are you going? This one's mine!
Eternal devastation! Burn!
There you go! Don't let up! Finish with our air thrust!
Voice Blast! Here I come! Eternal devastation!
Raging sword!
Try harder! Double Demon Fang! Crush! Double Demon Fang!
Do it!
Winwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Now!
Certainly not.
Now you see what I can do! Elusive deity!
Double Demon
Ray!
Be still! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Can you take it?
Ready to go!
Blind you with
Eternal devastation! I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire! No escape!
Raging Storm! Celestial River!
No escape! Crush! I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed walk.
I'm not done! Voice Blast! Slice!
Now!
Voice Blast! Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! Now!
Vanish without a trace! Air thrust! Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
Hey, new equipment!
I won't forgive you!
Take this!
Shine!
Take this!
Radiant light!
Blast of regeneration!
It can hide itself?
Amazing!
Take this! Allow me to help you.
Eat dirt! Double Demon Fang!
It looks like you got this one far enough!
Take this! Double Demon Fang!
What in the world?
Dohaline!
I'm all right.
Now!
Dohaline! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed walk.
Double Demon Fang! I'm ready! Dohaline! In an instant! Impact Claw! My
Take
turn!
this!
I'm not done!
Our arts are being interrupted.
Eternal devastation!
Stalagmite!
Crush!
Raging
Eternal devastation!
Here's a
I'm not
bloody
done! Double demon blast! Eternal devastation!
Will this help? Crush! Anything in armor is all mine! Elusive deity!
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible. Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
I'm going to
No
use all
further!
the power of my
Double
healing
demon
arts.
blast!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! I can carve through... Ready to go!
Double demon blast! Okay, here I go!
Do it!
Shion!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
So, fire and earth astral energy, huh?
A perfect combination.
What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No, they appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is... a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegis. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary zoo. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourselves. All bets are off when it comes to this thing.
A whirling struggle. Winds of heaven.
Lane inside you!
Here.
This could be left free!
Dance on the way. Between heaven and earth.
Come on!
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Prepare to be seen! Take this!
Elusive deity.
That'll bring you down. Get out of there.
Its head is the sweet point?
We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Double demon fang! Take this! I'm not done!
No further. Armor won't save you. Blood. Raising you apart.
Take this!
Bloody hot. Elusive deity. Starting pile driver.
This one's all mine!
Resonate with the earth. Rending you apart. Negative
Creation. There you go. Don't let up.
No further.
Let the marksman handle this. Tidal wing. Where are you going? Blah, 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 blah.
Captivity.
It's over! Eternal devastation!
Rending you a bloody howling.
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Benediction.
All disasters made one.
Coyote one.
Helix of fury. Power of water. Nail strut.
Captivity.
Light astral
I'm ready! Double me! In an instant! Impact claw!
Hear me. Burning strike. Glacial spear. Pierce evil. Tempest whirlwind.
This one's all mine!
Celestial runner.
Not today!
And you're dead. On your knees.
Start up!
Rending you apart.
Take this!
Bloody
You're finished!
air pressure.
Start up!
Outstanding form!
Here I come!
I'll bring you down!
You're finished!
Can't get out of this!
Lunar corruption! All disasters may run! Come
Start up!
Watch yourself! Sense incredible power! Elusive deity!
Escape!
No dawn shall break this night!
Not on my watch!
You're mine!
All disasters may run! Come forth, the helix of purity!
Elusive deity!
The flame is mine! It's yours to be let free!
I'll heal you all! Dance to the wind! In here! Let's get you all tucked away!
Forgive me.
Stay away from my friend!
It's showtime! Razor cycle! Celestial runner!
Start up!
Restoration!
Burn in hell!
Here's a healing art!
Start up!
First aid! What would I do without you? Here!
I'm not done!
We got him on the run!
Don't get cocky! It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
I can't heal you forever!
Free from regret.
Start up!
No dawn shall break this!
I'm a sitting
Pay for
duck!
that!
Retreat from this battle.
Training? I would never! The waters of space roll back to your arms! Here I'll heal you all! Tidal wave! Healing circle!
Negative
Back into the fray! Radiant star! Lightning!
shine! Radiant prepare to be sealed!
By the power of this one's mine!
Such unadulterated fury!
Celestial runner!
Allow me to help you. In a bind?
Pierce evil! Celestial
What's inside me yearns to be let free!
I'll save you! The tempest engulfs you!
I'm not done!
Now you see what I can do!
Pierce evil! Searing flame! Illuminate the dark! Holy
Take this! I'm not done!
Pierce evil! The waters are created!
Here I come!
Take this!
Start up!
Can't get out of this!
No escape!
Willing to vote.
You're mine! Start up!
It looks like you got this one covered.
I'm not done!
Shattering the now! Attack time!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the Sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohalim's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
So, we're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think of?
Let's dispose of the trash.
Take this!
Sleep now.
I'm not done! This time!
I'll face you!
Void flash!
This is gonna need all of us together.
Void flash!
Hitting pile driver!
The flashing
Not
parts
today.
are weak points.
You're mine!
Illuminate the dark. Magic is there.
Eternal
A
devastation!
thrilling performance.
Eternal
Take
devastation!
this!
I never miss.
Now you see what I can knock it into next week!
There you go. Don't let up. Burning strength in the wind. Air thrust. A whirling struggle. Piercing wind of heaven.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind us.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
They smite with black and blade!
Here I come! Double demon flash!
The fluidity of the movements is simply incredible.
Be still!
Bloody hell!
Eternal devastation! Double demon fang!
I'll blind you with a shot!
You're mine!
I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action! Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renis Alma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That showed...
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rena on the assumption the Renis Alma's here, right?
Just don't say it, Law.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Hevrekt-35's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renis Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to be done, it helps me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you. The floor's on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. This whole thing's making my head spin. Why would they even do something like this?
The Helganquil can bend life forms to suit their will. Nothing they could do at this point would surprise me.
The ceiling is on the floor. That doesn't weird you out?
What good is a team made up of members who all share the same opinions on everything? And besides, when you get to be at my ripe old age, one begins to consider it quite uncouth to show one's true emotions at times.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. You can't be that old.
The sands of time wait for none of us, lad.
Yeah, we'll see. Though at this rate, I guess I'll have to live long enough to get as old as you first, huh?
You will. And when the time comes, I look forward to hearing you change your tune on the matter.
Can't get out of this! Double Demon, stop!
In here! By the power!
Eternal Devastation! Eternal Devastation! Crush! Eternal Devastation! I'll crush you with a dust! Eternal Devastation! Crush!
Throbs in pain.
Eternal Devastation! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
This one's mine!
Elusive Ether!
Can you take it?
Here, let me help.
Double Effect! Okay, here I go!
Tornado Drive! A thrilling performance.
Get on in there with the others!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Let's go!
Flight! Catapult! Void Flash! Be still! Mirage!
Take this!
In here!
Let me free you of your
This will come
power.
in handy. Here's
Let me free you of your power. All mine. I'll face
a
you.
whirling struggle.
Be still! Catapult! Mirage!
Winds of
Lightning Thrust! Mirage! Be still! Mirage! Lightning Thrust! Mirage! Here I come!
Nothing gets by me.
I must remember my limits.
Shine!
Radiant light.
Force of regeneration!
Radiant, do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
amazing.
You always get excited when you find something good.
We should hurry and get this stuff processed.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
I'll be saving this one.
Captivity!
Resurrection!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon
You
see
picked the
about
wrong
that.
fight!
Annihilation! Searing flame! Not on my watch!
Double demon fang!
Here comes!
The fluidity of your movements is simply incredible.
A chain between heaven and
Eternal
earth!
devastation!
I'm ready! A wailing
Elusive
Nancy
deity!
away!
Eternal devastation!
Shading pile driver!
Prepare! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Let me free you of your power.
I never fail! Outstanding form!
I'm not done!
Holy land! The enemy is going all out!
Came inside me, yours to be let free! Struck!
Benediction light.
Be still! Heal! Void blast!
Thank you for the healing, Dohun.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Right. No one is dying on our watch.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Radiant light! Of regeneration!
Sorry.
Stay away from my friend!
Allow me to help you.
Lightning thrust! Mirage! Be still! Mirage! Be still! Mirage! Be still!
Regeneration!
Not today!
Regenerate!
Thanks! Crush!
Maelstrom!
Double demon fang!
Captivity! You brought me pain.
It looks like you got this one covered. Magic
Save you!
advance! I don't even know the word defeat.
Double demon!
A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing Nancy away! Here, now!
Show me! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
I'm not done!
Eat dirt! Dance, immortal drop!
Double demon fang!
Here's a healing art. Sleep now. First aid.
Thanks.
Let's get you out of the way.
Deity!
Here I come! Pissed
Whoa,
off!
hey, one at a time.
Spear!
By the power of water. By the power of flames.
Here I come! Eat this!
Blackened blade!
Take this!
Like Astrolaga.
Crush!
Burning strike. Don't mind if I do.
Eternal devastation!
Anything in armor is amazing. Water power.
Take this!
Eternal devastation!
One for the stockpile. This one's mine.
Dance on the wind!
Shining supernova.
Strike!
Lunar
They
corruption.
might with blackened blade! Won't save you!
Illuminate the dark. Magic
Eternal
advance.
devastation!
Holy land.
Execution!
A chain between heaven and
Demon
earth.
fang!
Brilliant!
Wailing Nancy away.
Mirage!
Shine!
Be still!
Radiant light!
Take this!
Here.
Crush!
The
Regenerate!
waters of creation. Dance in mortal droplets. By the power of flames. Vanish without a trace. Mark magic advance.
I'll grind you with the dust!
Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
with the shatter it like teeth in!
Reload!
Blind freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. Blah, 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 magic. Leave the enemy's arc to me.
No complaints here!
Reinforcements?
It's over!
Glacial sphere. Here's the
Come on!
I never miss.
Yours to be let free!
Blind and red.
Double demon! I'm ready!
Astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done. Lunar corruption.
Struck! Stardust! Strike!
Annihilation.
You're mine! Thank you! Double demon fang!
Coming. Holy land. A change is not on my watch.
Double demon
Where
fang!
are you going? Now.
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! More Sukum?
Keep calm and take them down.
More?
Raging
I'm not
Storm.
done!
Celestial
Shut
Hand.
up!
I'm ready! Rinwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis. You don't mess around.
My turn!
Certainly not.
Double demon fang! Be still! Point
Can
blast!
you take it?
You're finished!
Do it! Sion, astral energy, full throttle!
My turn! I'm not done! Stardust! Eat dirt!
I'm going to need to use all the power now!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Here's a
Shine
healing
more!
heart.
Radiant light!
Take this!
Regeneration!
Hey, this one's mine! A whirling trouble! Do it!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! A merry distraction!
There's still more to go!
Ruin's gate! It's over!
Can you take it?
Strike!
Illuminate the time!
Double demon fang!
Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push!
Let's do this together, Alvin.
You're finished!
My astral lightning
I'm
condenser!
not done!
Thunder
Double
blast!
demon fang!
Illuminate the blah blah blah! Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! More?
Illuminate the
Here I come! Ruin's gate! Stardust!
No dawn shall break this night!
Point blast! I'm not done!
Wailing Banshee of lightning!
Take this! I'm not done! Dragon Sword!
They smite with blackened blade!
Winds of heaven! You're really, really strong, Alvin!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, do it! Reassuring
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
My turn! I'm not done!
Radiant
Stardust!
here! Now! Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
This looks nice and tough.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah. It's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really, really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants. How it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted. Like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.